I'm sure if you go online and you check for best schools in Tbilisi, Georgia, you'll see some options online. But this is my opinion, and these are the schools I would recommend. Hey you're welcome back to the channel. It's Lifestyle with Hadassah, and I'm Esther. Glad to have you here again if you're a returning subscriber. And if it's your first time, hey you're welcome to the channel. I hope you like my content and you decide to also subscribe. So quickly, without wasting much time, I'm going to be telling you the schools that I would recommend if you're planning to come to Tbilisi, Georgia. So of course there's information about these online and like schools to attend or best schools in Tbilisi, stuff like that online, but a lot of people still reach out to me to ask about the schools that I would recommend, and that's why I'm making this video. So I'm going to be telling you the list of schools that I would recommend, and my reason for recommending these schools primarily is because I know people in these schools, and so I've been able to get opinions from these people to know if they are good schools or not. There are certain schools that I know people have attended, but along the line they transferred to other schools for one reason or the other, okay? And that's why schools like that, I'm not going to be mentioning them, not to try and spoil their brand or anything like that, but I'll just keep it to the schools that I recommend. So I'm not really going to be going in any particular order, okay? So I'm not like recommending from the very best to the least best. I'm just recommending the schools that I think if you go to any of them you would be good. They're actually not a lot, even though there are a lot of schools in Tbilisi. Also, if there are specific things about specific schools that you should watch out for, I would also be mentioning them. So I'm just going to start with my own school, not because it's the best or anything like that, okay? Like I said, I'm not going by the order of best school to least best, nothing like that. Just alright. So well, the University of Georgia, Tbilisi, that's a school I recommend. They have a wide range of courses also that you can do. Not all the schools here are known for like a lot of courses. So for instance, New Vision University, also another school I recommend, but it's well known for medicine and maybe politics or political science, stuff like that. But I don't really know if they do, for instance, my point is there are some schools here that I'm not aware that they do other courses, but UG has a wide range of courses that they offer. I'm very sure of that. To avoid making the video too long, I didn't go into researching all the courses that they offer. You can very well do all of that research on your own on the website, and you can see which courses exactly they offer in English, because again, the school might be offering this course but they might not be offering it in English, okay? So you have to also check to make sure that the course you want is being offered in English as well. All the schools I'm going to be mentioning, I'm aware they offer medicine in English, and that's why I'm speaking about them, because most people come here to study medicine or like medical related courses. But UG offers medicine, nursing, dentistry, computer science, and a couple other courses. I'm sure if you check you'd find them. One thing I always like to say, especially for UG, is the financial aspect of the school is something to always be aware of. They did not joke with their money. The last semester was different, but in previous years you're supposed to pay your school fees per year, okay? But you also have the option to pay per semester. But at a time, for a couple of years in UG, you have to pay everything per year. So there will be times when your school status would be, or your student status would be stopped in this semester because you have not paid the next semester school fees. So let me not say the obvious thing, but you can imagine you have an exam coming up next week, and this semester the school is closing your status, and they're now saying you can't write the exam. Why? Because you've not paid the school fees for next semester. But I have paid this semester school fees, so I'm entitled to write this semester's exam. So I mean, make it make sense. So this is one thing I always like to tell people: be aware of it. If you want to go to enroll to UG, make sure that you always have your money ready. You always have your tuition. I feel like once you have your tuition, you're well and you're sorted. UG also, at the moment, I heard of the time they were building hospitals and stuff. Some people like to ask if they have their own hospital. I don't think they have any hospital at this moment, except the dental clinic. Yeah, they have a dental clinic. Last I knew, or last I heard, they were building a hospital, so I don't think that project is done yet. So but in the meantime, for rotations, we go to different hospitals. So far, all the hospitals where I had my rotation, they were all good hospitals. So there are other hospitals like within the city where you are sent to go and have your rotations, and I have a lot of those vlogs on the channel. You can always check them out if you want to see or have an idea. Okay, but New Vision, for instance, they have their own hospital, so you do your clinicals in the hospital, right? I believe, and I'm not very sure if they also go to like other hospitals within the city. Maybe it's possible, but they have a hospital where you get to do a lot of clinical rotations. Okay, so I mentioned two schools, UG and New Vision. New Vision, I'm aware you can pay instrumentally, but I think something similar to what UG does, where they give you a timeline. So UG can split your payment dates into 3, for instance, and I heard that New Vision also has a similar option. So UG can split your timeline into 3. So by, let's say, maybe the 15th of December max, that might be when you have to finish paying for the entire semester. So that's why the issue is, because 15th of December is still in this semester, not in the next semester. So why is my deadline to pay for the entire semester in this semester? So yeah, I think generally, if you consider the financial aspects, I think New Vision is kind of a bit more flexible than UG. UG can be flexible sometimes, but many times it is prayer and fasting. But yeah, academically though, I guess they're okay, they're good. Yeah, I've heard though that New Vision exams are extremely difficult. UG, their exams can be difficult, but I won't say extremely difficult. I mean, there are some courses that are like that like they want to choke you. But what I realized is, like, with all my exams and all my years in school, if you study for the exam, like there's no how difficult does it want to be, you shall pass. I mean, I remember last semester there was this exam that I had that I was actually shaking, like that exam was hard. So I know there are times like that, but many times when I found myself like feeling like, oh my god, this exam was so difficult, was because I just didn't study enough. So I believe that as long as you study, you do well. I don't know, I can't speak for the New Vision people, but many times they will say things like, you people are enjoying the exam let's give us, that's if I didn't even read, because how did I read yet? It was still so difficult and all of that. But anyways, these two schools, good schools. So UG, University of Georgia, and then New Vision University. The next one, the third one I will mention, I will say, is Grigol Robakidze University. So this is a university that we're just getting to know more about in recent times. I think they're just starting to have a lot more international students than before. So now I have friends in that school, so now I can find out what's the school like and how is it going and all of that and all of that. And so far, the way they've explained it, it sounds like a really good school. Also, one thing I've realized is it's kind of easier to transfer. So for instance, with UG, I don't know if they've changed their policy, but to the best of my knowledge, you cannot transfer into a different year. Like many times you have to start from the first year. So if you were maybe in a different school and you want to transfer, you cannot transfer into like maybe your 4th year. Maybe they've changed it, but as far as I know, that's their policy. With New Vision, for instance, you can transfer into a different year, but maybe if you're supposed to be in your 4th year, they may bring you back to like your 3rd year, depending, because they count like credits and stuff. I think Grigol, on the other hand, is kind of a bit more flexible with their transfer schedule, just because the people that I'm aware transferred there, they didn't really have like much difficulty. There's somebody I know that transferred to Grigol in her maybe in her final year, like her final semester, but she didn't have enough credits. So what they did is she did her courses for that semester, but by her next semester, so she could get more credits, they made her do rotations, and she picked a course that she was more interested in. So I don't remember exactly, but I think maybe obstetrics and gynecology. But she had something where she wanted to specialize in, and the rotation was actually very intense. It was almost like she was working, because she had to be going to the hospital all the time, and it was like she's interning. It was basically like an internship. So that was what she used to complete her credits. And for me, I actually liked that idea. I felt it was a good thing, instead of just doing like random weird electives with weird names like some schools make you do. But yeah, so Grigol Robakidze University is also another university that is opening up a bit more to foreigners, and I think that's a good option. It's a good school to consider. Tbilisi State Medical University is another school that, I mean, I know a couple of students that are there, and I think it's a good school, although the students are always stressed. Like they have the craziest schedules ever. You don't want to be so stressed. I think you should not go there, because especially in your basic years, oh my god. I'm also not sure if you can transfer. I think you have to start from 1st year. Maybe the policy has changed, but they have really crazy schedules, especially for the basic years. So from your 1st year to your 3rd year. So if you want more chill life, then oh, I've also heard that in a way they are living on past glory, and nobody come arrest you. I've also heard that the quality of education is not as good as it was before. It's a state university basically, so they've kind of been put on a pedestal for so long that many people just assume that, of course, one of the best schools. But I've heard that in recent times their quality has kind of been dropping ish. I don't know again because I'm not a member of the school, but I'm just again talking based on hearsay. Like I said, if you go online you find information, but you might want to agree with me that it's not every time that you see stuff online that actually translates in real life, and that's why I'm just giving you again based on what I am aware of or what I know, what I've heard. Okay, but you don't have to take it, of course. You can always go by what is online. DTMU is another school. I'm not even sure how to pronounce the name. David Tbilisi Medical University. So DTMU is also called IAT, is also known as IAT. It's a good university basically. I think their educational standards is also quite high, even though I feel like sometimes some things they do are unnecessary, because from what I've heard from some students, you can be filled for like you can be filled for just funny, like you can just easily be filled. It's almost like they want to know what you do not know, so instead of marking you for what you know, you lose a lot more points for what you don't know. So almost like they do this negative marking thingy. Okay, do you get what I mean? So yeah, they're also really hectic. Like, it's such a stressful university. The school schedule and school system is really stressful, from what I've heard, from what I've seen, from how I've seen the students that attend that school. So I mean, if you want to be on your toes, okay, you're free, you can always go there. But when I signed up to do medicine, I sure didn't sign up to die, so me, I'm not interested in that type of stress. Is there a way for me to do the course without actually feeling like I'm about to die? I would rather take that option. So, but again, some people like to equate that to the quality of education. Like, some people think the more stressful the education process is for you, that means the quality of education you're getting is higher or better. So if that is you, if that's your vibe, maybe you can consider that school. I think the Georgia Technical University is also a good school, although I'm not very sure if they do medicine in English, but I'm aware of a couple of people that attend that school for other courses. So maybe if you are not considering medicine but some other course, you could check to see if they have the course you want in English. Caucasus International University. So there are two of them. There's Caucasus International University and there's Caucasus University. Both schools, I know people in both schools. I think they are okay. I mean, from what I see and from what I hear, although I think Caucasus University is the more stressful university, or more hectic. There's this particular university that when every other school is on break, they're never on break. I think it's Caucasus University. And there's one other one, but I don't say the name of that school, because that school, a lot of times people that I know attend that school, by the end of the semester they're already trying to transfer out of the school. I don't spoil their business or their brand, so I'm not going to say. If you want to know the school, you can come to my DM. I don't say it online. I don't want anyone to come arrest me. But yeah, if you want to know the particular school, just in case maybe it's the school, it's one of the schools you're considering, you can come into my DM and I'll tell you what school I'm talking about. Number 9, TSU. How am I just remembering this school now? Tbilisi State University. Something prominent about this university that I would like to mention. I know someone that graduated from here, and there was one thing that I really appreciated them for. I don't really know how it's done with other schools, but like, usually, for instance, if you are graduating, let's say your last exam let's say your last exam is on July 22nd. When you're renewing your last residence card, the date they will put for Justice House would be 24th, like let's say maybe 24th. Sometimes they won't put 22nd. You'll not be like, or maybe they'll put 23rd because that's your last exam date. And so when you get your residence card, the last date is probably 22nd, because it goes like they take it one day back from whatever date the school gives. So this is an issue that many times students have, where, okay, yes, I'm graduating, like I'm finishing my exams in July, that's my last semester, but I still need to take my papers. Like, my certificate is not ready, my transcript is not ready, all of that. Not even to talk about graduation. Graduation is probably going to be in like August, September. So why is my residence card expiring now in July? Am I now supposed to stay in the country illegally for the next couple of months? And so what this causes many times is people have to leave the country the moment they are done. Like, I'm aware of sets, for instance, in UG, where a couple of people have had to take their exams before the actual exam date. Teachers scheduled exams for them before their last exam, just so that they could finish the exam and leave. You get? And many times people would have to like sign a affidavit for somebody else to take their transcripts and get all of their documents and do all of that run around for them, especially if you do not have maybe like a UK passport or US or any other passport that can let you stay longer than that, if all you're relying on is the residence card. Okay, so many times the problem, many times the hassle. Beautiful thing about TSU that I really appreciated was, I'm aware of a student that, I don't even know if she's the only one, but I feel like if she did that, I want to believe it's a thing where she was able to basically request for when she wanted to leave. So I think she asked for like maybe an extra month. So like, let's say she's finishing in July and she told them, oh please, can my last date be sometime in August, so I'm able to gather my documents and also stay for my graduation and all of that. And it was allowed, it was approved, which I think is the normal thing. I don't even think somebody should ask for it. I think that if the school is giving, if they're responsible for the date, the last date on your residence card, they should factor in the fact that when you finish your exam, your results will not be ready and all of that. Are you supposed to just up and leave the country without gathering yourself together? So I really appreciated that about them, the fact that they gave a good enough reasonable time so she was able to get all her documents and attend her graduation before leaving. I don't know if any other school has this issue, because I know of a couple other schools where people finish and they don't have to be running out of the country because, oh my god, my residency will soon expire. But I don't know why it's a thing with UG. I don't know. Maybe it is the agreement they have with the Justice House or something. I don't know. But again, my point of saying this is just so you're aware. Like the last set of people that graduated from my school, they actually planned their own graduation sometime earlier in July, before the semester even ended, just so they could have a graduation before they go, because the moment the semester is done or the moment they have their last exam, residency is expiring was in 2 days. So yeah, but TSU, they do well for that, and that is one of the reasons why I would be recommending them as well. Those are the 8 schools that I would recommend, simply because I know people here, and from what I've heard, these schools are schools you can apply to in Tbilisi, Georgia. If there's any school I missed, please, that you are aware of, for my fellow people living in Georgia and studying in Georgia, you can go ahead and let us know in the comment section, okay, so that other people can also learn and all of that. And if there's any school that I mentioned that you think is a no, please enlighten us, because maybe as I'm not in the school, I don't actually have the full picture. So feel free to comment in the comment section so that we are kept informed and we do not make the wrong decision. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. I really hope that you liked this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Also let me know in the comment section what other kind of videos you'd like to see from me, and I will do my best to work on it. I will see you in my next video. Until then, stay healthy, stay safe. Do not forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, all of that good stuff. Okay, bye.